No.
I need.
Did you go to Smithsonian?
I guess that's where I get them.
Oh, in Crossroad.
Sure. 7 to 5.
I know.
No, but I'm sure you could ask the boss to let you off.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know the boss? I didn't expect that. That was good. I wasn't going in that direction, but I liked it.
Well, it's better than it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that was
It's also they're waiting on it for 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah, but they couldn't repair it, so they had to just clean it out. So I was able to bury it right after.
Does that mean fake news coming?
Yeah, they told me they wanted to get to it first. I said, I don't want one at all. But I guess have not had a pain.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm going to call this meeting to order. If we could have Mr. Core. Well, how about our Boy Scout? Could you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda. So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Zimmerman, seconded by Councilwoman Bushman. Is there any discussion? And then all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. It may be self-evident, but Councilman Kilpack and Councilman Shetron won't be here tonight. They both have good reasons why they cannot attend. Green River Chamber of Commerce update. Lisa, you're first right on the top.
Too short. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to come and present to you this evening. I have a PowerPoint and Tara's going to help me out with that, moving the slides. So we've got, I mean, this is January for the December numbers. as far as vacation packets, brochures, walk-ins, and convention bags that had been distributed. But the slides mostly are just from August through December. And then we'll come back in and do our year. So this is more like a end of the last quarter type information that we've got here. So we're still currently Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. Man in the fort up there. So with the visitor center and the chamber both. So next slide, please. We did 8 ribbon cuttings and open houses between August and December of 2021. This one here was Royal Flush Advertising. Then we did our Crossroads exhibit that we partnered with the Sweetwater County Museum to host the Smithsonian Crossroad Traveling Exhibit. It was a change in rural America. The chamber the visitor center housed the exhibit for 6 weeks up there. That was fun. We had to take everything out of of upstairs, and it was all moved downstairs. And we got these big crates that the display came in. And so it was really nice. We did also host a 2-day installation workshop for museums around the state that would be receiving this display over the next 2 years. We also did an open house and ribbon cutting, and we had a lot of fun. The Hole in the Wall gang came with their attire on. So we had a good time. Next slide. There's another one here for Green River Insurance. High Federal Credit Union. Earthwise Herbal and Wellness Center. Man's Face Liquors. And Mr. Appliance. We partnered with Rock Springs Chamber. They became a member of both the chambers, and the Mr. Appliance is based out of Casper and Rock Springs. So we just partnered and just did one giant ribbon cutting for them. So it was a lot of fun to partner with them also. And then Gigi's Playland. Then we hosted our 20th annual River Festival in its full glory. We got to do the whole thing last year. It was August 20th and 21st. It was a lot of fun. We had the fire department was down there handing out information, and the vendors were great. Sold out all of our vendor booths. We had lots of people on waiting list if anybody backed out. It was amazing attendance, and it was great to see everybody. Everybody seemed to really have a good time, and it was nice. It was nice to see everybody out and about again. Of course, we couldn't have River Festival without our shrimp boil. Senator Russell joined us again this year, and it's a lot of work that shrimp boil is, but it's a lot of fun. Then, of course, we had the Great Duck Race, and got to put our little ducks in the river and float them down. And this is the second year that Team Josh, the picture that's there. There's 2 people that we do not know who they are. They're residents of Green River. That's all we know. And Team Josh, it's one of them's brother, I guess. And they they buy the duck race tickets for him, and then they come dressed like this. So it's a lot of fun to see the community take part in the Great Duck Race also. Then, of course, the car and bike show. It was fun to see everybody out and about. That we had a lot of car show and bike show participants. It was great to see some of the people have those beautiful vehicles that they have either restored or have bought brand new. So it was a lot of fun. Then, of course, our Run with the Horses Marathon, half and 10K run. We had record numbers this year. We had 156 runners, and that's the most we've ever had. The new t-shirt designs and the new medal designs were a big hit. It was amazing. We also started up a Run with the Horses Facebook page, and it was so nice to be able to post all those pictures, and everybody that attended, they just loved that they were famous on Facebook for and had all their pictures. But we had a lot of good response from everybody. They came from all over the United States. It was a lot of fun. The horses put on a big show for them up there. And so they had a lot of really cool video that we also got to post on that Facebook page. The runners had their cell phones, and they were sending us videos and photos of the horses up there. So that was a lot of fun. And then, of course, we did our Flaunt Your Fish entries with our local businesses and organizations and individuals. And that's always a a fun thing. I know Ace Hardware is one for like the last 3 years, and Trona Valley won this year. So Ace Hardware is going to step it up again, and the community votes on that. So it's a lot of fun to see how creative everybody is. And then here's some more pictures of the Smithsonian traveling display that we had. It was once you get all that stuff out of the big main area, the visitor center up there, it's a big area. You don't realize how big it is and how much it echoes if you don't have all the stuff in there. But it was amazing that the photo that's there with the big cases. And we said, "Are you guys having like a rock concert in here or something?" But it was fun. That all the display was in all. There was like 17 of those big huge crates. It was amazing. It really was. Then of course we did our support and spend local holiday promotion that we did. And our 6th annual holiday business showcase. A lot of fun. We had Mr. and Mrs. Claus there this year. They are from Rock Springs, and Jessica that works for us, it's her aunt and uncle. And so it was very fun to see. And we had a lot of people that come down to take photos with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. In years past, we had partnered where it was Santa Paws, where you brought your pets down to have photos taken, but it seemed like a bigger hit to have Mr. and Mrs. Claus down there for the kids and adults both. We sold 26 booths, so we did our full, booths like we normally did. We had 9 retail and 17 home-based businesses have booths there. Then, of course, we had Adopt a Tree, and we had Ace Hardware's first place. Alicia Cook with Allstate had second, and then the Girl Scouts took 3rd place. This coming Tuesday, we are partnering with APG of the Rockies. They own Rocket Miner. It's going to be effectively marking your business seminar, January 25th, in person and online. The in-person will be in the morning, and then online will be in the afternoon with everybody's schedules. Free to sign up for that. The gentleman that's coming is coming from the East Coast, and the Rocket Miner is paying for him to come in to do so. And if people will take advantage of it, we will partner with other series and other sections of this series with this gentleman. So we're excited to be able to offer that to our community. And anybody's welcome. So just let us know and we'll get you signed up. Additional events that we got coming up is our annual awards that we will do present in April. So if you know of anybody for outstanding business, a distinguished citizen, stuff such like that, please let us know and we can get you the forms to fill out for that. And of course, we have our monthly lunch and learns. Tomorrow will be our next one, or one for January. We'll be presenting our new board for this year. And we have 1 new board member. This year we had 2 that left last year, but we have 1 new board member this year. We'll be presenting them. And then there's a new travel agency that's in Rock Springs that she will be presenting, and seeing all the fun things that we can do in the United States for right now. But she has also, she's got many years in the travel industry. So I just want to thank you guys for your continued support, and if you guys have any questions.
Any questions or comments for Lisa? Go ahead, Sherry.
I just had a quick comment. Just saying thanks for coming. We know you're down there, but we don't always see what you do, and it's good to see that, and just not have to wonder what's going on sometimes. It's good to see what's going on. So thanks for coming by.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Thanks, Lisa. I just want to ask you, what was the for the Run for the Horses, the most distant traveler that came out here?
Normally, we get them from like Canada, and we've even had them from Finland that have come in Germany before, but with due to COVID, the travel restrictions. For this one, we had one from Boston and then Florida.
Wow.
So they come from all over the United States. A lot of them come from Texas, and I can get you those numbers if you wish, exactly where they came from and stuff like that, the different states. But they were so excited to be here. And the one that was from Boston,
Yeah.
he came with his mom, and they actually, when we were down setting up Thursday, they were on the tour bus for the Flaming Gorge, for the travel and tourism, the Flaming Gorge tour bus.
Uh-huh.
And one of their stops is to stop in down there at Expedition Island. And they got off and Lucy introduced me to them. And I said, okay, why did you pick run with, our marathon, And they said, because you guys didn't cancel last year. You guys held your race. And they were so excited to be here, and they took part in everything. And the people that came from Florida, they were a lot of fun too. The runners are some of the most amazing, fun people I've ever met. They're just excited to be here. I think they're crazy for wanting to run marathons, but
No,
they,
wait a minute.
that's, something that's not on my bucket list is run a marathon. That's for sure. But they're so excited to be here and to be participating. And they're just a fun loving group. They really are. They're amazing people. And I'm excited on Saturday when they come in, and a lot of them, to come in Friday night and come down and enjoy the festivities that, Art on the Green and the, music and the fireworks and the shrimp boil. And they really do enjoy being here. The race is not an easy race, I've been told, but it's challenging, but rewarding. That's what they tell me. So, but no, it's they're a lot of fun. The runners are.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Anyone else? Okay, thanks, Lisa. We appreciate all you do.
Thank you.
Okay, item 5, citizen requests and other communications. Are there any citizens in the audience that are not on the agenda that would like to address the council? Seeing none, moving on. Board and committee appointments. Appointment of Kathy Hemker to the Green River Tree Board. Kathy has volunteered to serve on the Green River Tree Board. She has worked in the past to spearhead the Greener Granger project while living in Granger. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Councilman Bushman.
I move to confirm the mayor's appointment of Kathy Hemker to the Green River Tree Board for a 3-year term.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Bushman, seconded by Councilman Zimmerman. Is there any further discussion? And then all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Item 7, ordinances. Consideration on third and final reading and ordinance rezoning from B1 general business to R2 single family residential. I'll just read this. The petitioners, Anthony Bryce and Ashley Castillion, are requesting an amendment to the official zoning map for a parcel located at 645 West Flaming Gorge Way from B1 general business to R2 single family residential. The petitioners are requesting this change in order to construct a single family residential home. And we've had this on 2 readings already. This is the final reading, so we should all be familiar with it. So do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Councilman Bushman.
I move to approve on third and final reading as ordinance to amend the official zoning map of the city of Green River to rezone property located at 645 West Flaming Gorge Way from B1 general business to R2 single family residential as hereby described within this ordinance.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Okay, moved by Councilman Bushman, seconded by Councilman Jost. Is there any further discussion? And then all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Item 8, council action items. Consideration of the 2022 HIDA subcontract award from the Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tom Jarvie, Chief of Police. This is a HIDA grant approval. This comes before you every year, at least for the past 20 years, but this year's a little bit different. I want to kind of slowly go over that for you just so you understand how it is going to impact the budget if we continue with the amount that's proposed here. How our drug enforcement is funded for the most part in this area as far as designated officers to do nothing but drug enforcement. It's normally funded by grants from the federal government. There's 2 main streams. One is the HIDA grant. It's high intensity drug trafficking area. That's the grant that we're talking about. Another one's called the JAG grant. I think that's just stands for Justice Assistance Grant. And we have participated in one or both of those at various times over the past 30 years that I've been here. I think the last time we had 2 task force officers was probably about 6 years ago. That the grants pay for most everything with that officer. It pays for salary and it pays for up to 35% of fringe benefits. However, fringe benefits cost more than 35% of base salary here. So we end up spending out of the city coffers about $20,000 to $30,000, depending on which officer's in the slot at the time, a year, for us to provide a task force officer to work with the DCI Southwest Drug Enforcement team. The reason this is coming up to as a 2-officer grant for this year is because the sheriff's office held that second grant position for, I'm not sure how many years, but for the last several. And just due to leadership changes that they had and personnel that they needed in certain slots, they had to do some moving around, and they found themselves with not the right person with the right skill set and the right fit at the time to put into this position. So they let DCI know, who then called us and asked if we would be willing to try to find another officer to put in there. We have several officers that are right at the perfect point in their career. They've have enough experience to really know what they're doing. I'm a little tentative to send somebody over there too early in their careers, because then when they come back, they don't remember what it's like to be a patrol officer sometimes. So, but we do have several that are interested and would be a good fit for this position, and I think would be a very good benefit to DCI and really help us with the drug enforcement challenges we have in our area. So that is why it would be a bump from 1 officer position to now 2 officers coming from Green River. Chris will at some point, if we approve this agreement, will at some point between now and July probably come back with a budget amendment to move a little bit more funding over to the police budget to cover that extra fringe. You know, how much that is and when that will be depends on when we hire another officer.
Good.
Yeah, and the grant does go for calendar year. And the weird thing about the grant is we will not get DCI signature on it until they receive the federal funding in April. So we actually spend a quarter down before we actually get their signature on the paper, but it's worked well for us in the past.
Good. George, it looks to me like you.
I just had a question. Will you be hiring another person or expanding the department by 1 person, or do you just have the same number and just move them around?
Yes, we will have to get another officer on.
Okay.
We gave up 1 this past budget year. We eliminated 1 position from the budget that was totally funded by the city. So this would bring that position back, but as a grant funded position.
Any other questions or comments for the chief? Okay, entertain a motion.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I move we approve the 2022 HID TA subcontract award from the Wyoming Department of Criminal Investigation in the amount of $171,505.52, and authorize Mayor Rust and Chief Jarvie to sign the agreement with approval of the city attorney.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Jost and seconded by Councilman Berg. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. It's a good deal to get for what we're going to be spending an extra drug enforcement person in the community. I think it's a great deal. Item B, consideration to release the retainage for the ADA improvements project phase 2. Mr. Public Works Director.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mark Westensco, Public Works. This was another grant funded project. The TAP grant that we received a couple of years ago for an ADA project. This specifically was on East Teton Boulevard between Bridger and Alabama. We had some work done to improve the ramps there where the trail crosses East Teton, and also at the intersection with Alabama. That was a grant funded project. It was completed this summer, and been advertised for final acceptance, and it's time to release the retainage.
Okay, this is pretty self-explanatory. Does anybody have any questions for Mark? Okay, we'll entertain a motion. Councilman Zimmerman.
Mayor, I move to release the retainage for the ADA Improvements Project Phase 2 in the amount of $8,076.50 and authorize the mayor to sign the YDOT certificate.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Zimmerman, seconded by Councilman Berg. Anybody have any discussion, questions? Seeing none. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Moving right along.
Mayor,
Councilman Berg.
so moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Berg, seconded by Councilman Zimmerman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. This could be a record, folks. The shortest meeting. City Administrator, Mr. Clevenger.
At least for 2022. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I'll already speak for Galen. No report, Your Honor. He actually at the last minute ended up having to be gone, whatever, but he is watching on YouTube, whatever. And I have no text comment at this point in time, so we're good. And we had a meeting tonight with Rocky Mountain Power. Some of the executives are in town. A couple of them came and spoke at the commissioners meeting. They have the CEO in to talk with the Jim Bridger plant folks with all the stuff that's going on with the EPA and the federal showdown that they have with the governor. We were getting an update on that a little bit tonight. We also had some discussion regarding Terra Power and just some of the thought process from some of the community leaders. And so we had that. I can update a little bit further on that, but it was a good meeting. One of the things that's kind of interesting is to see when all this does get rolling, whatever the amount of workers that are going to be within the area doing these projects. You're talking in the neighborhood of 6,000 to 7,000 at one point in time within the area. It's going to be, granted, we got a little bit of time to get there. And I think that when you look in the legislative session too, when they're looking at some of the siting council funding that's going through with some of these big projects, there's going to be some impacts and how they move forward with that and the percentages and stuff. So Ryan, of course, is already getting involved at the legislative level. There's about 70 bills already proposed out there. So you guys will start getting some tracking on that with what we provide. The Chamber of Commerce does some stuff that gives us too, that forwards regarding some of the business side of what's being tracked. We of course track pretty much what affects the city. So we'll be starting that. And Ryan and I plan to attend at least the WAM portion and some of the legislative stuff coming in February after it gets started. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Reed. Councilman Jost. Councilwoman Bushman.
I just have one thing. I just want to let everyone know that, and Brad, and I think the mayor and I've mentioned a couple people. So I have my friend at Vandenberg Air Force Base has sent FedEx the Space Force flag. So we're going to have that this week sometime. So we're going to have one at the cemetery, and I believe we're going to be taking it out of, if everyone approves, out of council money. So we don't have to worry about that. And Parks and Rec will put up the foundation for it because it's a military branch. So once I have it, I'll let everyone know. That's about it.
Yeah, that's exciting too. Thank you, Councilman Bushman. Councilman Berg.
The only thing I've got is Councilman Kilpack has nothing to report tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Zimmerman.
Shop local, buy American.
All right.
Thank
And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Nope.
Mayor, I motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Bushman, seconded by Councilman Zimmerman. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned, 7:25. Not a lot on the agenda tonight.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.